for more on this, we turn to Stephen Pomerantz, a former assistant director at the FBI, who's in our Washington bureau. Stephen, good morning.
Good morning.
Stephen, we're hearing from a law enforcement source that the alleged shooter had writings of an anti-government and anti-TSA nature. What do you make of that?
Well, it obviously goes to his motive. We have a lot more to learn, and I'm sure there'll be an exhaustive investigation at the end of which we'll know a lot more. But it seems that that's a place to start, that he's carrying a grudge, that he had an anti-government bent to his philosophy and was acting on that. And this is not the first time something like this has happened. And it's just something we've come to learn to live with and expect, unfortunately.
Stephen, along those same lines, all reports are that LA World Airport police ran directly towards this gunfire. They acted very bravely. But from your FBI perspective, how can they really deal with a situation like this? I mean, this guy walked into the airport with what we believe to be an assault rifle.
Yeah, you're right. They acted heroically. They did the absolute right thing at the right time. I'm sure they've trained and drilled for this over and over again. And they acted heroically. And there's little you can do. We live in a complex society with all kinds of vulnerabilities. There are lots of people out there with lots of different grudges. And unfortunately, the availability of weapons is another issue that's just a reality in our society. And these things are going to happen from time to time. And there's very little you can do. This is the worst scenario. A lone gunman. Again, there's a lot more to learn, but he may not have tipped his hand before, acting on an impulse, whatever you do, there's a limit to your ability to stop these kinds of things.
Well, from the FBI's perspective, what's the most difficult part of dealing with a situation like this?
Well, obviously it's prevention, and all of law enforcement, the FBI and the rest of law enforcement does the best it can to gather intelligence about the activities of people who may be getting ready to engage in illegal activity. But intelligence, there are limits to your ability to collect intelligence, and certainly once again, what we have apparently here is a situation of a lone person, and that's the most difficult scenario of all. The one thing here that we may, and I don't know how this is going to play out, none of us do now, but there may be people who will come forward and say, I should have reported something. I was suspicious, he said something, he did something, he acted in some way that could have, this could have been prevented if people had acted on those suspicions. And we'll know about that over time. And that's the only lesson here, or one of the lessons here certainly, is if people act in a suspicious way and they indicate they're going to do something like this, people should report to the authorities so they can step in and do something long before we have a tragedy like this.
Stephen Pomerantz with us in Washington this morning. Thank you.